Two Gold Coasters are on their way to having the #1 mental health podcast in Australia. The pair helping each other through some dark times before coming out the other side to launch Shared Minds.
Do you have a podcast that you draw a lot of inspiration from? I guess Osher's, but is there one that really resonates with you?
Well, no, and that's why we started it, because we didn't have a podcast for what we needed. Like when we were at our worst and when Liam was going through his bad OCD, he had one episode, which was Osher on Rich Roll.
And Luke
and he had Luke on Joe Rogan. He had 2 episodes to help him.
Because Luke's got the same OCD I do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, no, we don't have one that we look up to. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why some days are so tough, because there's no one for us to look to be like, okay, are we tracking right? Are we doing the things that we're meant? Or we don't know because no one else is doing what we've been doing.
You're forging your own path.
Exactly.
100%.
And that's so important.
That's what we were sitting up on the deck yesterday, and we were just sitting there going, who do we can't reach out to anyone really. Like sometimes, like in real estate, we did real estate, there's always somebody ahead of you that you can reach out and be like, hey, we got a problem, can you help? But in this, we don't like. And because we don't have a product to sell, a lot of people that we know and that are entrepreneurs and have businesses, it's like, they're like, well, we just get more sales. And me and Kevin are like, that's not how it works for us.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
I always say that too, because I didn't have anyone to really reach out to. There was one lady who'd ran a big run before who I asked for, training advice and logistics advice, but kind of you have to wing it. And so, and I always say, if you're looking for a mentor, and I give a lot of, I coach people who now want to do these long expeditions, but you should find a mentor who's not the very best, but someone who's only a few steps ahead of you.
Yeah.
So then sometimes I think people at the top of their game, they've kind of lost sight of what it is to be in that hustle phase.
Yep.
And so having a
They're
mentor,
forgotten.
they're forgotten. So having a mentor that's kind of only like 2 years ahead of where you want to be, they remember, they can give you practical advice.
They've just got out of the hustle.
Just got out of it. They know what worked. They had the same setbacks, and you can kind of really work a little bit more one-on-one. And then you've got your main kind of high-end mentors for the, I guess, macro picture and keeping it. But I like to have those 2 layers when I talk to people for guidance.
Well, that's what we've had, because in real estate, they'd get a lot of mentors that have been trainers for 10 years and were successful 20 years ago. And
they were like door knocking in the 80s.
Yeah,
and they're
it's
like,
different.
like Kirby had one once and he goes, I found this thing, it's called letter dropping. And that was, and it's like, that's not.
I don't think that's going to fix it. But I remember when this was first brought out. What, in the 80s?
Yeah. And I even thought that for the campaign. There's kind of these cookie cutter ways to campaign politically that I don't have any experience here, so I lent on, everybody's advice. And I just remember thinking, at what point do I lean on advice that could be very outdated in 2025, or what point do I just take my own outside the box thought and bring it into it? And you kind of have to find that balance, right? It's like you want to do it your own way, but you want to make sure you're not disregarding the wisdom of those that went before you.
100%.
Because you want to find your own way, but then not copy the way that someone else has done
Right.
it, because you're a different person to the person whose advice, so your advice might not work for everyone's different.
Yeah.
So I do want to ask just quickly before we I do want to jump on the independent candidate.
Yeah.
So you said that you were doing the 150 days, and obviously you had to quit your job. It's going to be very hard to work a job doing that. So you were quitting a job to run across Australia. Like, when you first pitched the idea to friends and family, what was the reaction? Was everyone like, wow?
Well, I guess if they knew me, and I do all this stuff all the time, these wild adventures. This is the biggest one by far. So 90% of people were very supportive. My grandfather was like, what are you doing? You should be having children. Think of your career. Because I was 30. And was very much. But then he was the biggest fan when I finished. He had the T-shirt on. He was at the finish line. He had, sometimes the older school opinions. He had those, you're not thinking of your future. My dad was very much like, you're going to die, so I'm going to come with you and make sure your car doesn't break down.
Oh, was he there the whole time?
No, just for the first bit in the Cape. So he actually ended up being the bush mechanic, and anyone that broke down would come and Dad would fix all the vehicles up in the Cape, which was really fun. There was this motorbike guy who's riding solo, and he flooded his bike in a river crossing and was just stuck. Oh. So Dad spent a full day and a half helping him out and then caught up with us.
And then had to catch up.
Yeah, so he had a great time. But so some people were nervous, but actually most people were supportive. And I think I've been really selective in my friendship groups to make sure that the people that I surround myself with will lift you up and not pull you down. You can't choose your family though.
Yeah.
It's funny, you can have 20 people supporting you, but you have one person that doesn't, and they get in your head.
They get in your head.
The rest of them.
And I had this thing, right, where I'd never ran more than one marathon in a row. So I reminded myself that I will be proud of myself, whatever I do. If I run 50, then that's huge. Awesome. You've never done this before. And I kind of have, and maybe it's my personality, but I kind of have an all-in attitude, and I'm like, failure is not always a bad thing. You know, you can learn a lot of lessons from failure. I would regret it more if I didn't try than if I tried and failed. And that was my attitude going into it.
You never want to sit there wondering, going, oh, could I have done that?
Yeah.
Could I have pushed myself? I wish I tried it earlier. Yeah.
That's why we quit to do this full time. Because I said to Kerry, imagine being at 35 or something when you've got kids and you're married and you've had a career for 10 years, and same here, and we're like, why didn't we just take that leap 10 years ago? Imagine where we could be.
And whatever, you can get a job again.
That's exactly what it is.
In 3 years' time, if you're like, oh, this is exhausting and it's not sparking joy, you're still skilled, that's the absolute worst case is you'll
just
be where you
walk back
started.
into what we did.
Yeah. The worst case is you're not going backwards, you'll be where you started.
And you won't have any regrets.
And you won't have any regrets.
And you learn a lot. Yeah. So just on that, what do you reckon was the best lesson you learned from doing that whole run?
How incredible community is when they come together. So many people helped and got around it and had a shared stories and passion that really was beautiful. Also, I think it was the first time I'd really held myself accountable for acting on bigger issues than me. So, I acted on the environmental crisis, and I was at an airport a couple of weeks later, and a bag fell off the conveyor belt, and I remember looking at it and going, no one's picking that up. And traditionally I would also be like, oh, that's not my problem. No one else is doing it. I won't do it either. But the first thing I did was walked over and picked it up and put it back on. And I was like, people need to be more accountable to better the world. Why not do it at the end of the day? So it taught me...
How hard is it?
How hard is it? So it taught me confidence in myself. It taught me resilience. It taught me the power of people and movement, and it also just taught me that it's okay to just step outside the box and try something a little bit different.
Yeah, because people always say like, oh, but what if it fails? And it's like, but what if it succeeds?
What if it succeeds?
Like, what if I do it?
Yeah, and exactly. You guys will be the #1 mental health podcast soon, and you go, imagine if we didn't try.
Oh, yeah.
Where would we be?
Oh, we've already managed to achieve things that I didn't think were possible.
Yeah. That's a testament to you guys. You're approachable, friendly, doesn't smell too bad in here.
Good feedback.
We used to have reeds in here.
Yeah, they are.
That's why.
Yeah. It's a well-furnished room.
Flip them.
When you say like environmental crisis, what do you mean? Like now I'm freaking out with
No,
what have I missed?
Turn the lights off.
We're all dead. Australia is a world leader in animal extinction. So we've been losing Australian native animals year on year, and it's just not improving. And I mean, there's so many factors: biodiversity losses from fires, and expansion of housing estates, industrialization, floods. But it's essentially just there's nowhere left for the animals to live. So I'm a big fan of just making sure we just keep wild places. I'm also a trail runner, so there's a bit of a selfish need to... I want somewhere to be able to run in the trails.
I want somewhere nice to jog.
Yeah, so I'm just a big fan of keeping wild places wild.
Okay, cool.
And that's one of the reasons, well, I don't know, maybe the reason you transition into the independent?
Yes, that's exactly
candidate.
it. Yeah. Yes, so I had never saw a future in politics. I actively used to avoid it because I thought they were all crooks. Still kind of halfway there.
Still do.
This is reaffirmed the belief.
Yeah, and now I'm more entrenched in my opinions. But no, the community, so the McPherson Independent community have been going for about a year, and essentially they just wanted independent representation that was strong on climate action, strong on integrity and honesty, and strong on, I guess, making sure the people come first. So it's driven by the community. And I was reached out just literally an Instagram DM. And I ignored it. I was like, no. And my husband said, go get a coffee with them. What's the worst that can happen? And I was very distracted at the time. It was the week of our wedding. And I was like, oh, I got other things to do. But I went and spoke to Bryony. She lives at the Eco Village in Currumbin. And she's like, she was straight to it. She's like, we want you to do this. And I thought about it and thought, all right, well, I'll put in a submission and we'll just see. I'm probably not the right person. But the more I thought about it, I go, all I do is campaign for the environment. I build people movements. It's exactly the same. Yeah. I just now need to learn about tax reform and housing reform. Yeah. And, there's a few little boxes we need to tick. And so
So you had like the transferable skills. You just had to learn the new colour pattern, I guess.
The knowledge. Yeah. So here I am on ChatGPT being like, what is Senate? What is House of Representatives?
What is House of Representatives? I don't even know what that is. With politics, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I asked Bryony on this first meeting if it would be a full-time job.
Yeah.
And she said, you'll have to move to Canberra.
Really?
So it was a full transition.
I'm out.
So it wasn't just for the Gold Coast.
No, it's federal.
See, this is what I mean. I don't get it.
Yeah, no, it was a federal seat.
I only get American politics because I love watching the election because it's so interesting. But other than that, I don't get it.
Yeah, no, and because we are so different to the US, we had a really big shot. The current incumbent, or the previous incumbent, she was retiring.
You have to move to Canberra.
You have to move to Canberra.
You didn't realise.
Canberra.
I avoided it.
Worst 2 days of the run, Canberra. You're like, no.
Couldn't go back. So, it was federal. And so, there was an awesome opportunity on the Gold Coast where Karen Andrews was retiring. It was going to be a new face. We had built this movement. It had momentum. And I thought, all right, let's do this. So I spent months just learning everything. But also it wasn't so much about me. It was more about what the people wanted. So my job was to be a representative of the people of the Gold Coast. So I spent 16 hours a day talking to people. What do you want to see? What's important to you? And all of this, and just developing the policy based on that. And we did really well in the end. So
was it the more you started to learn about the more you learn about politics, the more you kind of went, I can actually apply the things that I want to do here. Like you kind of got more excited for it and learn a lot more about it.
Absolutely. And what I really realised is you always think, Parliament at the end of the day is supposed to be representative of the people. So why shouldn't we have a diverse range of humans that represent tradies and nurses and, lawyers and doctors and athletes rather than just, career politicians who've never worked a regular job in their life. So it should be a diverse range of people. And when you think about what their job actually is, to represent the people of their electorate, it's gone so far off track right now that we should be having more people, more independents having a shot.
Yeah. And it's funny how you said the diverse there. It's like how many in Parliament at the moment do you reckon have run a marathon?
Yeah.
How many? It's like I've done 150. I've seen every square inch of this country of the Eastern Seaboard.
I know every town. I've got it well and truly covered. And that's like David Pocock, huge inspiration, ex-skipper for the Wallabies. And he's in the Senate, and he's just taken, and he was a mentor for me as well. And he took everything he learned from sport and teamwork and took it into his career, and it's such a great transition. He's killing it.
Yeah.
You can see how. Yeah, you can see how we do need it and the Gold Coast needs it. It was definitely the most challenging thing I've ever done. Yeah. And I knew, but I didn't, I guess, conceptualize how divisive politics they were. Say, don't talk about politics at the dinner table. And now I'm like, whew, I can see why.
Was it like...
understandable.
Yeah. Was it like toxic?
Some parts were.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have your kind of rusted on red team and blue team. And people don't like change. And here I am coming in hot with change. And they were like, this is not okay. Go back to running. Go back to running. Yeah. Yes.
Did you cop a bit of flack from people you didn't know?
Was it a bit... You see it both sides. So, right, and this is it when we're talking about before, your brain fixates on the negative. It got to the point where I had volunteers whose full-time job in the campaign was to shield me from the vitriol that would come onto social media and block and hide all of the nasty.
Because they don't want to throw you off.
Yeah, because they don't want me to read it all.
Yeah.
And I reckon we blocked hundreds of people.
Really?
Hundreds. But it's awful.
What's it like when you decide to run? Like, there's obviously got to be this well-oiled machine.
Yeah, what's like day one when you say yes?
Because you're like, oh, is it a full-time job? Like, you would have, once you like got into it, been like, what?
Yeah, it's two full-time jobs in one, I'll tell you that. We had to build the entire organization from scratch. So it was not well-oiled. We had to oil it. So we had to staff it, get campaign managers, organisers, fundraisers, the whole team. So it took us probably 3 months to build it. And
That's so many tasks just to like from the get-go be like, all right, all these things have to just start now. Like, which one do you focus on?
And we had to build policy, you know, and we had to get the brand recognition out there. So it was I can't believe what we achieved in 8 months when I think about it in hindsight. You know?
Yeah, because I'm going to ask you questions like I'm 5 because I don't get it.
No, it's good.
And then, so you obviously need money. Where does that come from?
We had to fundraise. So to link my old life with the new life is I ran around the perimeter of the electorate. So I ran 100 Ks around McPherson. So down to Tweed, the border track, around the entire perimeter. And we raised $107,000.
Oh, amazing.
So that was good. And then we just did
But that's making you stand out straight off the bat. Like, that's a point of difference.
That was fun. And I was like, this is me. So it felt... And then what a great way to talk to people. Just going
it felt genuine.
Yeah.
Genuine and organic,
Yeah, but fundraising. Heaps of fundraising.
Right.
So that was another full-time
Did you
job.
feel the pressure on that because you'd have to fundraise in order to pay for everyone?
Yes, unbelievably so. And it got... Do you remember the cyclone? It's the ex-tropical cyclone Alfred. So
so that was the start of this year, wasn't it?
like March.
Yeah.
So Albo was going to call the election. We all predicted it for April the 12th.
Oh, this wasn't that long ago.
No, this was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
I remember. Yeah.
That's why my mum's face on Instagram and YouTube everywhere.
It feels like a lifetime ago, but I remember my mum and I was like, when's the election? She goes, he's got to call it. And I was like, when's that?
Yeah.
She's like, when he calls it. I'm like, okay.
And that's the hard thing we didn't know. So every day we're like, has he called it? Has he not? And we're all predicting April 12th. And the cyclone, he goes, I can't call it on a cyclone. So he pushed it out to May the 3rd. And all of a sudden we'd budgeted for April 12th and we had this extra weeks to try
3-ish weeks.
3 weeks to cover the election costs. So that was really stressful for me because all of a sudden you have staffing and digital advertising and just merch. We had office that we had to pay rent for. So I've never been more stressed.
It's so random when you think about it because you've essentially just started a business and done all that within 8 months.
And then you just pull it all down. I got a biggest...
Yeah, because then what if you don't win? Where it
goes to storage. We ended the lease and I had a way bigger come down from the election because it's everything, right? And it's this whole community and it's 5 a.m. till 10 p.m. every day to the point where they were giving me meals, like delivering me food because I didn't even have time to eat, to then stopping. And then all of a sudden you just don't get it. And I was like, this is weird. What do I do now?
You wake up, check the news. Oh, I didn't get it. And you just stop everything. Like,
do you know what it feels like? It feels like the world's biggest job interview. You know, you're being interviewed by 100,000 people for a job interview. And it's just kind of it's a very vulnerable feeling. I remember walking down the streets of, I live in Burleigh Heads. And people, I've been smashing the advertising. So everybody would recognize my face or my voice or my name. And
the name definitely.
And they'd look at me.
So unique for it,
And I'd go, they have an opinion either way. You can't just walk down the street and be incognito. Everyone either likes what you stand for or they hate what you stand for or they hate politics. So I've never felt so vulnerable to opinion before, just being in my own hometown. It was this weird feeling.
And people would just instantly not like you just because you're a politician.
But what you stand for, or because you're a politician.
Yeah. You dirty politician. Like, just straight off the bat, you're like...
Yeah. So you get all this hate without people actually... I had someone walk up to me at pre-poll and go, you're a racist such and such. I'm like, I'm the opposite of that. I'm like the most...
Trying to save the animals. Like, what are you talking about?
Do you know I ran the length of the country for the voiceless?
Yeah, like...
Wow.
Just, I just got hated on for
Did
no
you ever
reason.
get asked questions that you're like, I don't even know?
All the time. I have people come up to me, and one lady was like, so what's your opinion on the superannuation over 3 million railroad tax concessions? I was like, whew, here we go.
Was there training for this stuff?
No, well, my training was podcasts and Googling and reading and researching. And I had a media team, and my media team would feed me all the relevant daily news. So they
because you couldn't patrol it all yourself. Again, that's a full-time job, getting all of the information and just...
and what do I need to know and what's important. So and the beauty of being independent, which was also my savior, was that my job was to listen and absorb. So all I would say, well, what do you want me to do? You tell me.
Put it back on them.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I was thinking then, I was like, if I had to do that, if superannuation, whatever, I'd say, I don't know.
Yeah, and I did. I said, look, I did say that a lot. I said, look, this is my first campaign. I have a nutrition background. I will look into that for you.
I think I paid super when I did that.
I work for myself. Not a lot going into super.
You pull out ChatGPT and go, based off what you know about me, how do we answer this?
Yeah, I think I have like 6 superannuation. Wow. So the come down, how was the come down? Because it would just be like...
As you said, it's all in.
Yeah.
Without, all day, every day.
It's like... Without, like it would just be you, and everyone would be like...
But also the team, we had a group of volunteers that were working full time. We had, activities and public activities every day. So we had this massive team of people who were so dedicated that, worked hours and hours per week for them as well. So
yeah, they would have huge come down too, because suddenly they're going, oh well, what do I do now?
But we're still going. I mean, even this morning early, we do kind of a Wednesday walk. So everyone does still keep meeting up and making sure we're progressing in the right way. But that was definitely a bigger come down than after tip to toe. And and like I said, we got married the day before we announced. So I was trying to take my husband on a honeymoon.
So that's only this year that you married?
November. So not that long ago. It's not even a year. And so we flew to Vietnam, but my entire family came with us. So it wasn't the best honeymoon.
That's a nice honeymoon, isn't it?
It was not ideal.
What was the come down feeling like? Like a bit of anxiety?
There was anxiety during the campaign for sure. Particularly, there's like the Sky News live crosses, they always made you clench a little bit extra because they're against you as well, and so they're going to be combative.
Yeah,
they're looking to grill you.
They're
wanting to stuff you up.
And they used to come up with the weirdest, like, you're not really from the Gold Coast, and what does running have to do with it? And they'd really try and offset you, and they were hard.
And especially for some of those people that have probably been doing it 20 years and they know how to get under the skins, and you're just like, and
they call it the political maneuver when they don't answer the question. I don't know how to do that. I answer the question, and I thought that was a good thing, but everyone's like, you shouldn't have said that. I was like, that's what I was asked.
I reckon people want you to be authentic and just answer the question.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought.
Well, that's you a runner A to B. You're like, start line, finish line.
Like type A personality.
Yeah, I watched one the other day, and the guy was interviewing like a politician, and he's like, are you going to answer the question though? And he asked the guy the question 3 times. The guy just never answered it, and I was like,
it's such a skill that I do not have.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe if I won and a year down the track, I would learn it, but I don't understand that. Why don't you just share? I feel like that's the entire role, be honest and transparent. But that's why we were running. We were running to try and be that different person. So trying
to be the difference that it needed. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, there's so many things that I'm just like, same with Liam, I'm like, but what, how, who, like, and what's next? Like, there's just so much involved in it. And like, did you have any, I don't know, guilt when you didn't get in, that like everyone behind you was kind of like looking up to you, and then you were kind of like, oh, like, I have to do this for them?
Or? A really good question. I guess I felt the pressure, yes, because we had such high expectations, and I think you have to at least see a window of hope, otherwise what's the point?
You have to believe you can do it, or what's the point?
Yeah, but we were also such a long shot, and I was quite nervous we had a big party on election night, and I was quite nervous that it would be a really emotional space. And what surprised me about it was that everybody was so, we did so great. We built such a community it was very positive. I kind of thought we'd all be on the whiskies, like leaning over our table, trying not to cry. And it was not like that at all. It was super positive. So I felt everything afterwards. I felt angry at the people that were so hateful. I felt like so much gratitude for the people that dedicated 6 months of their life. I just felt everything. And so I reckon even now I'm still going through waves of it a little bit where, yeah, I'll feel something and I'll either be triggered or I'll be like so humbled by it. So
someone walks up to you in the street like getting ready for a biff off.
But I love it because I'll get a coffee somewhere and they'll walk up like, oh, hey, I voted for you. And it just lifts you up, you know?
A little pick me up.
Little pick me up. I'm
Like
sure
I
there's
needed that.
Yeah.
I needed it today.
No one walks up and says, I didn't vote for you. I hope. It hasn't happened yet.
Oh, that's
Your
so
neighbour
funny.
comes out when she goes to a car.
Yeah, it's you. Oh, that's gold. But so did you apply throughout the entire campaign? So those 3 pillars that you spoke about earlier that you used for running, did you do them as well?
Yeah, this one was a bit different because I saw the whole thing under one pillar.
Yeah.
And that was the environment. One of the biggest things we worked on was protecting, I guess, the local koala population and climate, and we were trying to clean up the creeks because, as we know, they get lots of sewage in them. So we had a lot of environmental pillars.
Yeah.
This one was great. I saw, it wasn't really in the running world, but then I brought the run into it. So it did still fall under the pillar.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking about now. You know, what is next is like, okay, it has to be in those pillars.
Yeah.
And I use everything. You guys probably do it too. You use one thing to leverage the next and you go, all right, now that I've got Osher, I can be like, hey, Luke, we got Osher.
Yeah.
We're big dogs.
Yeah, you use them as stepping stones to get to the next ones. So.
Yeah. So that's what we'll do. And who knows, we might run again. I haven't quite decided yet, but.
Yeah. Do you kind of miss it? Being so hands-on busy or no?
I mean, I'm always busy. Just, I'm a business owner, so life is busy and I've got my own kind of thing going on. I miss parts of it. I miss... You don't have control of your calendar. Someone else literally has a calendar and you just go to events. So, and I miss a lot of the social stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't miss how intense it was and how much it's all I thought about. It consumed my life, and I don't miss that. I like seeing my husband, and I like seeing my friends and being able.
That would have been hard on your husband.
Yeah, he told me I catfished him because he was joking. I hope because I didn't. Like, we were 4 years together and then got married, and the day after he barely saw me.
Yeah, literally.
I got the ring.
I'm out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would have been...
But, like, he would have known coming into it how, like, intense it was going to be.
I don't think it's another one of those ignorance things. I don't think either of us realised how intense. And I even called people and I said, I'm considering doing this. What do you think? And they were like, don't do it. It's so busy. And I was like, nah, I know busy.
What do they know?
What do they know?
When you found out you lost, how did you feel? Like, was it split second?
So it's hard because the way the preferential voting system works, and this is not a political podcast, but real as simply is that it's not always found out on the night. They have to, they tick off the bottom person and the votes accumulate. So
they take you up from the bottom.
yeah, so you might still win. So you don't really, until you know, which we didn't know for another 3 days.
That'd be so much worse because you're like, I'm still not
Yeah,
out. I'm
maybe.
still not out.
Yeah.
Oh, they just got rid of them. I'm
So
still
it's
not
like
out.
death by 1,000 little stabs.
Oh.
So it was.
It's like the anaconda's eating the one at the back of the line.
Yeah. The old school snake.
Yeah, is it coming for me next?
It was a little bit like that. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I can't believe you didn't vote.
I totally forgot.
Under the bus.
I think we did a podcast on the day that we interviewed somebody, and then I swear Alicia said you've got to go vote, and I was like, yeah, and then I just went home and I went, oh shit, totally forgot. I don't even know how to vote. I just
Opposite ends of the spectrum.
honestly, yeah, politics to me, like I've always tried to be interested in it, especially like the American one. I just find it so interesting,
Yeah.
but I just cannot wrap my head around it. And then you think, oh yeah, this guy seems cool, and then you tell someone, and then they go, well, he's actually done this, or this is what they want, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, it's so confusing. I find. Do you follow what Trump does now? I find it all so wild. Just he's like such
I don't even
a
get it
character.
though. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think any of us know. That's the great. I don't know.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
don't even-
move on.
Like I hear one thing, and then him and Elon are like taking over the world, and then
Yeah.
Elon does a tweet, and then I go,
Now there's this
so
feud.
and then you hear that maybe it's a publicity stunt, and then you're like, oh, I don't want to.
You just don't know what to believe, eh?
I just think, like, I'll be honest, like, I watch Trump and I'm like, from what he's achieved in his life, it's quite inspiring. Like, he's a billionaire. But from the politics side, I don't have an opinion because I don't know.
It's a democracy, right? So people voted. So you have to kind of ride with what the American population wants.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was a landslide. He says it was. I don't know if it was. But it was like, being in Australia, you hear a lot about American politics, name and opinion, but then when you're over there, it's completely different.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was over there July last year for the election. Was it the election? And like, yeah, it was just completely different. And over here, I feel like it gets a bit dramatized. And then over there, it's like, because then you watch like one news station and it's all bashing him, and then the next is like all for him, and you're like, good person, bad. Like, what is it? I don't get it.
Wow.
But it's like, as you said, where you're like, you brought in that fresh approach into the politics. It's like he was never a politician. He was a businessman.
Yeah.
So he brought his transferable skills of let's make money into politics, and he's doing it.
He's doing
he's
it.
doing what he has always known what to do. So
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
who knows?
I don't
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I've kind of ever since just taken a little bit of a breather from it all, and it was weird after the election. I was like, now what do I listen to on podcasts? You know, like you've just been listening to the same ones over and over,
learning.
Yeah.
One of the things I always found so funny is I knew this person, and it was her grandfather was like diehard politics, knew everything about it, was dedicated, listened to everything, knew everything about it, to the point where like his wife never told him. After he died, she told everyone that she voted for the other party. Just because she was so sick of hearing about it all, and she goes, I'm going to make your vote not even count. Like...
That's what I mean. It's so divisive. Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I voted for the same one, voted for the opposite party just because she was sick of hearing about it all the time.
I saw a lot of that during polling week, where a husband and wife would walk in, and the husband would like look real kind of, I know what I'm doing, and then I'd walk out, and the wife would be like trailing half a meter behind, and she'd wink. She'd be like, I voted for you.
Fist bump on the way.
Yeah. Just
Is
a
it
little...
where you know how it like looks like everyone's divided and hate each other, but when you're in the same room, is it a bit different?
It was weird because you have all the candidates sometimes, but also sometimes it's just as divisive. I found it really...
It'd be good to watch that.
Yeah, I found it really combative being in pre-polling when you had all of the other candidates with you. It was very much like we would hand them our how to vote, and then someone would be like, oh, don't vote for her, take this. And it was very kind of...
Really?
Yes, not always. Most of the time people are really respectful, but we had 12 candidates, which is a lot. Usually the average is 6 to 8. So we had a lot, and it was just... And it's so interesting because it's the most diverse range of ideas, which I liked. I think everyone's entitled to their opinion, but it's so interesting hearing people advocate for something that I find so exact opposite of me that I'm like, oh,
and seeing how passionate they are
about it.
Bring coal back.
Kill the animals.
Clear all the woodlands for high rises. And you're like, oh.
Like, how is that your passion?
Yeah.
So I love the world for that. We're so different. And
We are. We all have completely... And it's funny because you probably surround yourself by people that are pretty similar with similar views by accident.
Yeah.
But then when you're in that room and you're like, what? Who are these? Like, I've never met anyone like this. It'd be so strange.
And you always, you've got to be careful to not just talk to the echo chamber, right? Like, go out and spread the message. But... yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I love how diverse we all are, and that's one thing I want to see more of. But yeah, it was challenging at in parts of it as well.
Yeah. All right, we've got probably about 15 left.
Really?
Yeah, it's been an hour and 15.
Wow.
Yeah, it flies. So just for anyone that, like, any young people out there that have this crazy dream, like, because you've now run for politics, you've run the length of Australia, who just have these ideas but just don't know what to do with it. What are your advice for them?
Oh, I have so much advice. I mean, have your goal, and if you can find someone that is a mentor, definitely reach out, ask a lot of questions. Set yourself steps to get to that goal. I mean, firstly, don't be afraid to just go for it. That's my number one overarching message. But then once you've made that decision and you're focused, set yourself goals to get there. So will that first goal be to ask for sponsorship, or will it be to plan it, or whatever it is, and then just tick them away? Because sometimes it can feel quite overwhelming with this big goal. And lean on people that will lift you up and support you to do it. I mean, you need those people that are going to lift you and support you, and don't let anything else get in the way. Even if you have to say no to some things, just focus and give it everything you've got.
And that's what those pillars are good for. Like, I love that pillar idea. Like, will it either will it affect this part? If it doesn't, no.
Yeah, and I guess another big thing that is it's okay if people say no. Some people, it's not going to be everybody's jam. You know, some sponsors just can't fit it in. They can't afford it.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to collaborate because they have conflicting things. That's okay. Just ask someone else. I think for sponsorship, I would have asked in the early days, you know, hundreds of people to get the sponsors that we got. And, you know, it gets easier. The bigger your profile builds, you know, people will start reaching out to you. So you just have to hustle. And, I mean, you can't expect it all to come at once. You've really got to work for it. But just don't be afraid to hear the words no back because it's inevitable. And if you falter at the first negative comment on socials or if you falter at the first no, you're not going to get anywhere.
Not going to get far.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the same, right? If you guys got any, you can't fixate on any negative. Not that you'd ever get negative feedback, but you don't want to fixate on it, right? You got to just think of the positives and just don't let it get in your way.
And that's what we tried. We had one comment when we did a video and we said,
it was the announcement of us quitting our jobs to take it full time.
And this guy, his name was King Bob on TikTok. And he said, I guarantee you boys will be back into full-time work in 6 months. And that was 6 months.
It was
5 days ago.
5 days
Did
ago.
you send a video
We were
back?
doing a video.
We were going up, but then we got busy, so we're going to do it.
We're going to do
Like,
something,
King
just
Bob,
a little
it's been
dig.
6 months. Look
Yeah.
at us now.
Still here.
Let's go.
Still going. But yeah, you can't look at the negative stuff. Like there is a lot. Some of the videos we do, like some of the ones I post, there's some... I get angry by these people, and it's not by what they say. It's the fact of me imagining them sitting there typing it out
Yeah.
is what annoys
Taking
me
the
the most.
time.
And
do
you
it.
know they will not be doing anything. They're
No.
not challenging themselves. They're not going outside their comfort zone. They're just pulling down other people because
Yep.
they don't want to see other people achieve.
No.
Because they want everyone in their, you know, in their wheel of just life.
Yep.
And they're the wrong people you should surround yourself with.
Oh yeah, big
That's
time.
the problem with social media is it gives them a voice.
I know.
And it's like, but you need to have the good with the bad.
Yeah.
You do need the humbling every now and again. You go, oh, this
Yeah, I
probably
did it.
right. Like,
I did
That
a,
wasn't funny.
oh yeah, I did a video. What was it? It was about the gym, and it was just meant to go on my personal story, and I just sent it to the boys, and I put in a trial reel on Instagram, and it got like 50,000 views overnight, and I was like, oh, if I actually post this, I might do all right. And then I've posted it, and I just got smashed. It was the worst 20. It got 100,000 views in like 4 hours. It would have hit 1 million plus.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there reading the comments, just going, "This is not good. This is not worth the views."
And they
Hundreds
comment,
and
they
hundreds.
don't remember that it's your video that you would be reading them. They comment like you're not part of it, right?
Yeah.
This bloke, rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
You're
Well, it was
I
like,
think you're not going to read it.
Yeah. Well,
it's like, especially when it gets heaps of comments, but it's like, if you followed our social media, you would have gotten my like satire, my sort of
Yeah.
sense of like comedy, but because it went out to people that didn't know me first, it started off negative, and my tone was a bit negative, but I thought it was funny. And then
Because
I
it was never
reading,
intended for it.
no,
It
and I was
just-
reading the comments, just going, "This is." It was probably 500 comments, just going at me, and then our followers joined in to try and like defend me,
So
and then
there's
they.
bites in the comment section as you
but
go
like
down.
our followers would be like, "Hey, don't speak to him like this, that, or whatever." And then these guys would come in and just rip them apart, and I was
And
like,
we're like,
"I'm
"Oh,
deleting
delete
this."
it.
Deleted it. I was like, "I got to get
Delete the whole post.
the whole thing." It sucks because I was like, this will get over 1 million in like 2 days, but I was
Yeah.
like, I'm getting rid of it. It's not the right publicity.
I don't need this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I remember
And-
waking up just going, "Oh, this isn't a good feeling."
But like we deleted it because it was like, you know, we're a mental health podcast and there's people fighting and calling each other just
it's
horrific
literally
things in
people
our
saying to
comments.
kill
And we're
yourself.
like, yeah, we're like,
Over the somebody will be like, "Oh, this was a funny video," and be like, "Go and kill yourself," and I'm like, "Over that."
Wow.
And the hardest part about that stuff is these people write that comment and then they go to the next video and they don't think about it. Somebody's going to read that comment and they're
Yeah.
going to take it
They're gonna sit
seriously,
on
and
it.
it's really not.
I think that's really great you deleted it. I take that's
It was,
Oh,
yeah.
we had to.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. I was. It was a no-brainer. After 24 hours, it just gained too much negativity, and I was like,
Yeah.
it wasn't really me. I could have lived with it. A lot of the videos get negative stuff, but I
Yeah.
just imagine being a follower of ours getting ripped to shreds because they're trying to defend us. Like,
Yeah.
they're a fan of the show. Like that.
yeah, they're just trying to
They
be
don't
good to
need
us.
that.
Yeah. Like they don't need somebody to talk about how ugly their kids are or something. Like, how mean is that?
I
So
can't even wrap my head around it. It's so
no
bizarre.
reason either.
it made me like have a new perspective of social media, and you know, Instagram comments can be quite funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go just for the comments.
Yeah.
Sometimes the comments can be really funny, but like it made me look at them on a different light now, and I'm like, you know,
If you comment something, check it's not that person's account before you comment.
like I never comment. It'll only be positive. But yeah, sometimes I'll read like a negative comment and I'll laugh and I'll like it. And I'm like, oh yeah, but how will the person that posted it? And I'll unlike it. And I'm like, oh, I feel really bad about it.
Spiraling a
Yeah,
bit.
it made me think about it from another lens. Yeah.
Any other questions?
I think so, no.
Yeah.
Anything else that we should have asked you and we haven't?
you've
Any other
covered
points you
everything.
want to make across?
No, we're all good. Yeah. We've been going for a while. We've done
Yeah.
It does. It always does.
Flies
So,
by.
I know.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, everyone, thank you for listening. And
Thank you.
See you next
Yeah.
week.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Love you.